Most cars don't fail because they get old. They fail because of two reasons that most drivers never fully understand. And many people watching right now are already affected by both. The first reason is a lack of real knowledge about how a car actually wears over time. Most owners know how to drive, but they don't know how heat, friction, and fluids slowly damage internal components. They rely on warning lights or owner manuals, which often react after damage has already started. The second reason is bad driving habits. Not reckless behavior, but everyday routines that feel normal. How you start the car, how you let it warm up, how you shift, how you brake, how long you wait between fluid changes. These habits don't cause immediate problems, which is why they're so dangerous. They slowly add stress where it doesn't belong until wear becomes permanent. Cars that last 400,000 or even 500,000 miles aren't lucky. Their owners understand these two factors and actively correct them. They know what causes wear and they avoid habits that accelerate it. In this video, I'm going to explain both. You'll learn how common driving habits quietly shorten a car's lifespan, what actually happens inside the vehicle when those habits are repeated, and what simple changes prevent expensive failures. This is not theory or marketing advice. These are practices based on real mechanical behavior and what high-mileage cars consistently have in common. By the end, you won't just know what to do. You'll understand why it works and how to apply it to your own car. Now let me slow things down and talk to you the way I would if you were standing next to me, asking why some cars seem to last forever while others fall apart early. Every time you drive, your car is dealing with three forces at the same time: heat, friction, and fluid breakdown. Every major failure you've ever heard of eventually comes back to one or more of these forces being ignored for too long. Heat is the first one most people underestimate. Engines are hot by design, transmissions are hot, brakes get extremely hot. Heat itself isn't the enemy. The problem is unmanaged heat over time. When heat builds faster than fluids and materials can protect against it, wear speeds up quietly. Friction is always present too. Metal parts are constantly moving against other metal parts. Pistons slide, bearings spin, gears mesh. Oil and fluid exist to keep those surfaces separated. When lubrication is strong, friction stays controlled. When lubrication weakens, friction starts winning, and friction always leaves damage behind. Then there are fluids, and this is where many problems really begin. Oil, transmission fluid, coolant, brake fluid, every one of them slowly degrades. Oil breaks down from heat and contamination. Transmission fluid loses strength, coolant becomes acidic, brake fluid absorbs moisture. None of this happens suddenly. It happens gradually, mile after mile. This is why understanding matters. Most car owners don't actually know what these fluids are doing beyond their basic purpose. Oil lubricates, coolant cools, brake fluid helps stop the car. That's surface level knowledge. What usually gets missed is how fast those fluids change under real-world driving conditions. Short trips don't let oil fully warm up. That traps moisture and fuel inside it. Stop-and-go traffic overheats transmissions. Hot climates accelerate oxidation. Cold starts thicken oil and delay lubrication. None of these things trigger an alert on your dashboard, but all of them increase internal wear. So when someone follows the owner's manual exactly and still ends up with sludge, stretched timing components, or worn bearings at relatively low mileage, it feels unfair. In reality, the car is behaving exactly the way physics says it will under those conditions. That's the knowledge gap. Not carelessness, just missing information. Now let's talk about habits, because this is where most damage quietly happens. We're not talking about abuse. We're talking about normal routines. The kind you repeat every day without thinking about them, how you start your car in the morning, how long you let it idle, how quickly you accelerate, how late you brake, how long you delay maintenance because everything still feels fine. These habits don't break anything right away. That's why they're dangerous. Damage doesn't announce itself. It accumulates quietly. Take oil changes, for example. Most people think oil changes are about mileage numbers. They're not. They're about oil condition. Oil doesn't stay protective just because a certain number hasn't been reached. It degrades based on heat cycles, contamination, and time. If you drive short distances, your oil breaks down faster. If you idle often, it breaks down faster. If you live in extreme temperatures, it breaks down faster. Once oil loses its strength, metal surfaces stop being fully protected. When that happens, wear increases silently. Bearings begin to thin, timing components stretch, rings lose their seal. You don't hear this happening. You don't feel it. You only notice when the damage is already deep inside the engine. Fresh oil protects. Old oil accelerates wear. That's the takeaway. The same logic applies to transmissions. Many drivers are told their transmission fluid is lifetime fluid. That sounds reassuring, but it's misleading. Lifetime usually means the life of the warranty, not the life of the car. Transmission fluid lives in heat. Heat destroys fluid. Once the fluid weakens, clutches slip, seals harden, and internal wear accelerates. Transmissions don't warn you early. They fail late. Changing fluid early feels unnecessary. Changing it late feels expensive. Only one of those choices leads to a long-lasting transmission. Fuel habits matter too, even the small ones people never think about. Topping off your tank after the pump clicks feels harmless. Most people do it automatically, but that extra fuel has to go somewhere, and where it goes is into systems designed only to handle vapor. Liquid fuel slowly damages them. Once those systems fail, problems appear that feel random. Rough idle, fuel smells, check engine lights, repairs that seem unrelated to fueling at all. But the cause was a habit that felt insignificant. Stopping at the first click protects that system. Simple habit, big impact. Vibration is another thing drivers often ignore. If a car shakes at idle, many owners assume it's just aging. Often it's worn engine mounts, and mounts don't just reduce vibration, they keep the drivetrain aligned. When mounts fail, stress spreads to axles, exhaust components, hoses, and even the transmission. One neglected part quietly overloads several others. Replacing mounts early prevents a chain reaction of damage later. Warm-up habits are another area where outdated advice causes harm. Older cars needed long warm-ups. Modern cars don't. Letting a car idle for several minutes washes fuel into the oil, dilutes lubrication, and increases wear. A short pause followed by gentle driving warms the engine faster and reduces friction. Less friction means less wear. That's what actually protects modern engines. Cooling systems follow the same pattern. Coolant doesn't just manage temperature. It prevents corrosion. Over time, coolant becomes acidic. Acid eats metal. Hoses weaken. Gaskets suffer. By the time overheating occurs, the system has often been failing quietly for months. Fresh coolant prevents that damage. Ignoring it invites expensive repairs that feel sudden but weren't. Fuel quality is another factor most drivers underestimate. Low detergent fuel allows deposits to build up. Deposits disrupt spray patterns. Poor combustion increases heat. Increased heat increases wear. Power drops. Efficiency suffers. Clean fuel systems burn cleaner, run cooler, and last longer. That's chemistry, not opinion. Shifting habits matter more than people realize. Rolling into park, slamming into reverse, hard engagement while the car is still moving. Each of these sends shock through the transmission. Not enough to break it today. Enough to shorten its life over time. Pausing for a second, coming to a full stop. That small habit protects thousands of dollars in components. Carbon buildup is another silent issue, especially in modern engines. Fuel no longer washes intake valves. Carbon builds up, airflow drops, power fades, efficiency suffers. Drivers blame the engine itself, but the engine is simply dirty. Cleaning restores airflow. Better airflow restores combustion. Better combustion reduces stress. Reduced stress extends life. Parking habits matter too. The parking pal is not a brake, it's a lock. Using it to hold the full weight of the car on a slope stresses it every single day. Engaging the handbrake first transfers that load where it belongs. Electrical problems often feel mysterious, but they usually aren't. Weak grounds cause sensors to misread. Systems behave erratically. People replace parts that aren't broken. Cleaning connections solves problems that appear complex but aren't. Throttle behavior is another misunderstood area. Modern cars learn how you drive. Over time, that learned data can drift. Resetting it doesn't fix broken parts. It clears bad data. And sometimes that's all the car needs to feel normal again. Braking habits follow the same pattern as everything else. Late braking creates extreme heat. Heat warps components. Early coasting reduces heat. Less heat means longer brake life and less stress on surrounding parts. Fuel pumps rely on fuel for cooling. Running low overheats them. Overheating accelerates wear. Keeping fuel above a quarter tank protects a component most drivers never think about until it fails. None of these ideas are complicated, and that's the most important thing to understand. Cars that reach 400,000 or 500,000 miles don't rely on one secret trick. They last because their owners understand how wear works and make small adjustments that compound over time. Once you understand that, car ownership feels different. Maintenance stops feeling random. Problems stop feeling mysterious. Longevity stops feeling like luck. It becomes predictable. And that's the real goal here. Not perfection, understanding.